Hello. In this video, I'm going to explain the information displayed in the header of the Service Basket page. See also the tutorials on the Service Basket functions and Service Basket services for a detailed look at those aspects of the page. For a brand new project, the Service Basket displays in its header section some of the information entered on the new project page when the creation was launched, namely the heading, client, requested by, to a consultant and linked to a manager. The in and out are initialized on the default location of the default country defined for the user creating the project. Any changes made to the header of the Service Basket needs to be saved by clicking on Save Info. For each project, there are three headings: heading, client ref, and itinerary heading. By default, they are initialized on the same value, but this can be amended. For example, a main client ref and click Save Info. The itinerary typically reflects the name of the model if one was used in the project. For example, click on FIT Itineraries. For Cape Town, Zululand and Kruger, click Add to Basket. In Service Basket, note the itinerary heading updated to Cape Town, Zululand and Kruger. The heading appears throughout the system as identifier for the project, both internally and externally. For example, on the reference and booking email, in Manage Your Projects, on Sales Management, etc. The itinerary heading and client reference only appear if they are different from the heading. The itinerary heading appears on the itinerary to identify the type or model itinerary used in the project, if applicable. The client reference, in this example, Dilma and Sing x5, appears on documents destined for use by the client and passengers, such as the itinerary, summary of services, and invoice. It is used if the client refers to the project by a different name from that used when the project was first created. Especially once the project has been booked, the heading should not be changed to avoid confusing suppliers. In addition, it is possible to specify a client request ID, for example, and click Save Info. If entered, it appears on the invoice, replacing the client reference. It serves to record a reference code clients might require to identify the project on their internal system. The client is as selected when the project is created. It is not possible to change the client in the Service Basket. See the tutorial on the General Info page for a detailed look at how to change the client for a project. It is, however, possible to change the client contact person who requested the project by clicking on the list, for example, to Jill, or to create a new contact person, for example, Tom, by clicking New, entering the name, email address, and Save, select, and Save Info. The consultant and manager, likewise, can be amended on the General Info page. The header also displays, for information only, the date on which the project was created, the date it was last modified, the markup, and, if applicable, that it is a test project. As services are added to the Service Basket, the in and out locations are automatically updated. The in location to the location of the first service in the itinerary, the out location to the location of the last service. For example, Hazy View. If another service is added, for example, Garden Court OR Tambo, in Service Basket, note how the location has been updated. The in and out locations determine where the tracing starts and ends on the maps. For example, on the itinerary and rates, and also for the text on the first and last days. The in and out can be amended by selecting a location from the list. By default, the list is limited to the most common in and out locations. Tick All to see the full list of locations in the database. A red dot indicates that flight details have not yet been entered. Before the flight details are entered, the correct locations must be selected. To enter the details of in and out flights, click on the plus of in and out info. For the in-flight, enter the flight number, for example, BA59. Define if the flight is overnight or not. Enter the name of the departure location, for example, London Heathrow. Enter the departure time, for example, 21:40. And enter the arrival date, for example, 10 May, and time. For the out flight, enter the out flight number, for example, BA56. Define whether the flight is overnight. Enter the arrival location, for example, London Heathrow. Enter the departure date, for example, 20 May, as well as time, and the arrival time, for example, 5:30. Save info. By default, it is assumed that these flights are booked by the client or passenger. If they are to be booked by African Eagle, tick Inc. to include them. See the tutorial on international flights for a detailed look at how this function works. Once the flight details have been entered and saved, this is indicated with a green dot. For a new project, the header displays the reference, heading, and number of nights in brackets. If the itinerary heading is different from the heading, the itinerary heading is displayed instead. For a booked project, the reference is different, and in addition to the heading, the stage is displayed. For example, booking request, if one or more services remain to be confirmed, or confirmed booking once all the services have been confirmed, or cancelled booking, as the case may be. And that is it. Thank you for watching.